All right, so today we're gonna be doing a mid skin fade. I'm my boy Dakota. Just gonna get right into this just to make you guys not wait. We're starting the guideline with our trimmer. Sometimes it's better to do it with your clipper just because you can go right under the trimmer and get the fade lower. But so right now what I'm doing is showing you guys half the haircut. Um, I'll probably do a full haircut thing if you guys want to. I don't know. Sometimes they take too long. And I don't want to bore you guys to death. So that's why I try speeding up these little processes. But so right here, what I'm using is the balders, skinning everything out, going a little bit right under where I started that trimmer line, just so I'm able to fade it. I cleared everything out, right? So usually what I do next is I take off the bulk on top, but since his hair's already short, I really don't need to take anything out really. So I'm just getting right into it, starting off that guideline. Sorry about the blurriness again. Freaking camera, dude. I'm trying to get used to it still, so bear with me. So we're starting off that guideline. A little bit, about an inch. We're using the FX3 clippers. These are from Babyliss. A lot of people don't like to use these because they're harder to fade with, they say, but I feel like it cuts pretty clean. They're dropping some new ones on February, so I can't wait for those, bro. It's gonna be sick. So after I start the guideline with my clipper all the way open, I close it all the way and I start taking out the very bottom line. But in this case, what I did this time was go notch by notch. So I went open all the way and then I closed it a little bit and a little bit more and then until the full clippers closed all the way. So I'm able to erase that bottom line. Check that out. Get nice and low right under that. Brush everything out, make sure you know what you're taking out. You don't want to leave like little hairs and then cut it and then like it wasn't even there to begin with. But you see that back part, how it's blending out nice and neat? I'm using the zero right there. So I'll just take that out real quick. If I need to go back in, I'll go in with the trimmer, which is probably what I'm gonna do, just to be safe, even though it's already looking pretty clean. You can still get a little bit cleaner, you know? Always want that little extra. So brush that out, make sure there's no hairs that are left. As a barber, you always gotta have your brush in your hand regardless. So yeah. So right here, I'm using my trimmer going back in, using the corners. I'm barely tapping that little line at the very bottom. Only using the corners. It looks like it's the full blade, but it's actually the corners. Check it out, see? Bam, bam, bam. So now everything is like super nice and blurry. Like I said, dude, sorry about the freaking focus, bro. Still working on it, man. I gotta learn how to lock that focus in one spot so it doesn't move around. Right here, I'm using the half guard with the low pros. These are the Babyliss low pros. They're pretty filthy. I changed the blade out so it's a fade blade. Took out the wedge blade on it. Cuts way better like that. So I have it all the way open, starting another guideline, not too crazy high, just kind of decent. Uh, but check this out. So I go all the way around. Once I'm right here in the front, I flip the clipper up instead of making it go sideways. So I go up and then I kind of tilt it a little bit. So it goes back to the straight line that I had created with my guideline. See if you can see that. It starts pretty much taking everything out nice and neat. We're going notch by notch right here. Check that out. Man, dude, this focus, bro. So annoying. Drop them a little bit. And then I go a little notch under it and make sure I take out the very bottom. Not too crazy high. Fold his ear. Make sure it's not like clippers not rubbing on his ear. We don't want to hurt the client's ear. I mean, they say it don't hurt, but I don't know. Just can you imagine like rubbing his ear back and forth and it's like tearing it up and it's just like, oh, dude, like I just didn't want to be rude about it. That's pretty embarrassing. So right here, I'm using the corner of my half guard. Either way, I'm gonna go back and clean it up, but you got to get used to just using your corners, bro. Using your corners are gonna help you out so much, especially with detail work. I'm gonna show a lot of detail work on here, how I get that fade pretty blurry. I just want to make sure you guys like kind of see what I do is when I'm using the corners, the clipper is always like tilted on its side. See, like right here, it's tilted on its side, and I'm just have it all the way open. The more flat you lay the clipper, the more hair it takes out. So if you do that on accident and you lay it more flat, what happens is you create little bald spots, and you don't want to do that. So start with the clipper, you know what I'm saying, like tilt it how it is, how I have it right there, and then like slowly start closing, like slowly start tilting the clipper on its back, so it's almost like a full blade, but not really. And you see, you slowly start taking out more hair than what you want. And the nice thing about these clippers is that the little teeth that it's got, they're like really tight, bro. And honestly, like it makes everything blend better, I would say. That's kind of why I like them. Honestly, with like the one guard on it and one and a half, and when you start going fast, taking out bulk, dude, it just like stops. It like messes up a little bit. So I really wouldn't use these for bulk, honestly. A lot of detail work. The point .5 guard sucks on it too, so just kind of. I mean, I use the point .5 sometimes, but you got to learn how to use them really good to be able to know what you're doing. These are also zero gap too. Check that out. Brush everything out. But honestly, bro, I can use any clipper. I'll probably do another video next time with like some Andis or like some walls or. The only clipper I've never used was like an Oster. I've never touched one. I don't know why. No hate, just never touched them. So right here, I'm going in with the one. It looks like it's all the way open. Yeah, it's one all the way open. I'm just creating another guideline. So right here, after I use this guard, I really just try and not use guards after that. I mean, I'm probably going to either way, because the 1.5 is probably the last resort. But sometimes I just like to use a one and then just blend with thinning shears and scissors all the way up, just because it's like you get that bulkiness on top and that nice blend on the bottom. But either way, right here, I'm using the number one. And I'm going ham, trying to delete that very bottom line. Slowly but surely. It's just a lot of back and forth. I like to take my time, bro. Like, honestly, I don't ever try and rush haircuts. Like, that's not me. If I'm gonna take my time, I'm charging more. But that's how it should be. You should always just take your time on a cut, make sure everything looks decent. Because trust me, bro, when they get out your chair and they're like, bro, damn, this is so sick, man. Like, it's the best feeling in the world. So as you can see, that blend is looking okay. It still need a lot more work to do on it. A lot of you guys will probably say like, damn, that's already good, but no, it's not, bro. It's not even close. So right here, I think it's halfway. Brush out all the little hairs. I closed it all the way and then opened it one notch. So I'm barely hitting right under, just making sure I'm going through it again. Like I said, I'm gonna go over it anyways. Probably start doing detail work with the half guard. But you see, it's straight up and down right there, and then it curves a clipper. See that? Just taking out that very bottom line, which is pretty dope. Okay, so now work my way in the back, come back up, stretch out more, just attacking that very bottom line. It's actually pretty interesting to watch, bro. I really never see myself cut hair. Isn't that crazy? It's like my first time watching myself cut hair. I'm like, into this too. Anyways, back on track. I'm using the half guard, using just a corner, making sure I'm going back in, hitting every little detail. Check it out. Boom. Tilt that clipper. Once you keep doing that for a while, you'll know whether to open or close the lever. Right now it's closed all the way. I don't go too high just in case, dude, because if you go too high and you make a bald spot, it's a wrap. You gotta do a high skin fade. Like I said in the other video, high skin fade with the flat top. Check it out. Tilt it. Keep going back over and over. Brush, brush, brush. Gotta brush your hair, man. I think I opened the lever a little bit, so now I'm going up a little bit higher. Oh no, yeah, just one notch. Oh no, I lied. It's closed. Haha, JK. So now I'm going back and forth, really hitting it. I'm like losing the fear of going higher. You see that? So like I was playing with that at the bottom, so now like I see it's not really doing much, so I can go a little bit higher, a little bit higher. So right here, I think this is a 1.5 open all the way. Notice how I'm like going against the grain, so his hair's combing forward, and I'm kind of attacking it backwards, and then I'm going straight up and down right here. Because the hair on the front by the vertical bar, which is where his lineup is, like his hair's combed forward, and in the back right there, it's combed up and down. So once I start getting to the front, I start like hitting it at an angle. I start like, see that? Just start using that corner to start bringing that hair in. Because if you go up and down, it's really not gonna do anything, bro. And you're gonna be stuck there like, why is this part so dark? Why is this part this and that? And you slowly start just working on your with your guard, using your lever, up and down, up and down. Look at that, see? I'm attacking, attacking. Boom, boom, boom. Looking nice and smooth right there. And honestly, what I do right here is just keep closing the lever every single time. Just tap, tap, tap. Once I get too low, I'll start using other guards and then start using thinning shears, scissors, etc. Brush, brush, brush. Alright, keep going, hitting that very bottom line, bro. And don't be scared to go up, man. If you go up too high, you can always erase it. It's a lot easier to erase lines when the bulk's on top. Look at that. Huh, looks pretty good. So now it's closed all the way. Still trying to find that straight line I created with my guideline at the beginning. Trying to make sure I not angle it too much. Dude, that focus, bro. Oh my God, dude, this camera is like really making me mad. I'm just gonna watch a tutorial on how to use that focus on it, dude. It's like annoying. If it was me, bro, and I was just watching some random dude cut and that focus kept going off, I'd probably change the channel. Don't do it to me, but I'd do it to someone else. So right here, I'm just using the bottom. I think I switched guards. Yeah, that looks like it's a one. Yeah, switch guards because I'm not really doing anything with the 1.5 anymore. So I'm just going following my steps back again, using just the corners. Every time you finish creating a guideline, go back in and just use your corners. Just corners, corners, corners. Because if you use your whole blade and you start like fading again, it's gonna create lines and it's gonna be so hard. You're gonna be stuck like wondering why you have lines, you can't erase them. But it's because you're using the flat blade. See, like only corners. So this is the one again that I had already used. So I just went back and I'm just using corners to do a little bit of detail work in between the 1.5 and the 1. So right here is a little tricky. So this blade I feel like stretches more than the FX3. So I have it open all the way. These are the Babyliss Low Pros, the fade blade, titanium. And I'm just going in and I'm just touching the little black dot. See right there, little black spot. And the clipper is really tilted on its side. I don't want to lay it too flat because I don't want to leave any little spots. So right now I'm gonna just touch the little black spots. And then after that, go in with some scissor work, kind of blend it up a little bit. Still just attacking the little black spots. I kind of sped it up here because I don't want to bore you guys. Because I do take my time on it. But check it out. Just gotta go up, blend it up to the length on top. Don't want to go too high up to like the hair in the middle of the hair, you know? I'm only blending the side. As soon as I go over the crown, I kind of just stop cutting over that. But check it out. See, as you can see, I'm using the big teeth on the comb, right? only around that specific area. And the same thing with the thinning shears that I'm using right now. I switched to the thinning shears. I didn't even notice, bro. But anyways, so right now I'm using thinning shears and I'm going over everything again that I just went with the scissors. With the scissors, I was cutting hair. With the thinning shears, I'm blending the hair. You're gonna start noticing like a nice little blend going on around here. So now look, I'm using the little teeth. The little teeth I only use like towards like half the in between the half of the fade to the very bottom. I don't go too crazy because it's not really gonna do much. You're really just gonna start making a mess if you start going too high. So I'm only focusing on the bottom of the fade, which is like halfway, right? You can't go lower than the halfway because it's like a zero, so it's not gonna do much unless you use your scissors. See, I got you. Use your scissors and use only the little teeth and start going and attacking those little tiny little black spots that you left. And use your little teeth, dude. This is really gonna help you with like blending, dude. Trust me. I freaking picked up this trick by watching like a bunch of YouTube people and just learning too, honestly. But like, look at that. That looks really clean. And see, I'm only at the very bottom. With the scissors, you can go really low. What I also like to do next is go over with the trimmers at the end of the cut and just use the corner and remember, tilt your clipper to its side. Don't lay it too flat because you don't want to make any bald spots. And I'm just going back and attacking the little teeny tiny black spots you couldn't get with your scissors and your comb. Yeah, so it's going in sections. It goes from the very top of the head to the middle and then towards the very bottom. So right now I'm just using the trimmers, just attacking, make sure I'm not going too crazy. And then I'm gonna start hitting the C cup right here. Check it out. I'm not pushing anything back, bro. I hate watching people push these things back, man. Leave everything as natural as possible. Comb those hairs to the front and watch right now after I'm done hitting this, how clean it's gonna look. Look at that. See, because you brush the hairs forward, you just cut all the little excess hairs. If you want to go a little too, if you want to get a little bit more bougie, use your scissors. Check it out. Bam. Make a nice straight line. You can't miss like that. Mm-mm. Damn, son. That boy looking fresh. That boy single. He about to get himself two girls walking out that shop. So right here, I like to use the scissors. Just it's a fine point cut, so I'm just using. It's pretty much like thinning shears, but you can really target more like the little black spots. It looks like I'm not doing anything, but if you pay attention and look real close, like you can see that it's doing something. You just got to be careful, bro, because I remember when I first started using this, I started. Oh, I'm gonna show you guys how to do this on top, add the texture. So check it out. To style the hair like that, it's just texture. So what I do is I comb everything down and I run my scissors across all the way from the back to the very front. I'm closing the scissors about halfway. I'm not closing them all the way because if you close it all the way, bro, you're just gonna chop them up. You're just gonna chop everything off, right? So I didn't get much here, so I'm gonna go over it again, and I'm just closing them halfway. But as I'm closing halfway, I'm moving the scissors. You don't want to just leave it in one spot. So you're running it through and closing at the same time. And make sure you go on the other side. You don't need to go as many sections, maybe two, three times around, but on the other side. But that's how you style the hair and make it look nice and wavy. So I'm pretty much taking some bulk from the back because he got his hair cut and the other barber left like some bulk on the back and then on the front too. So I'm knocking some of the front down and some of the back, making sure everything's nice and laying flat, it's not like too too big on the back and too big on the front. So right here, I'm fine cutting his bangs, making sure they're nice and solid. You don't gotta use your trimmers and do a straight freaking line across on everything. Throwing some enhancements, brushing it in so it looks like it's faded into the hair. It doesn't look like a solid black line. Always brush your enhancements in. Use a white chalk line to use a contrast between the skin and the hair, so it gives it a nice little pop on the hairline. Then I'm gonna go in with my trimmers and start erasing that white chalk. Make sure I'm pulling out. So touch the hairline, pull out, and it's gonna start erasing that chalk line. Then I'm gonna go in with my eraser and push everything right into that line. Make sure I don't push them back. 'Cause, oh Lord, if I push them back, my God, I'm gonna hear it all day, bro. I won't even sleep at night. Then go on the other side, do the same thing. Notice how I get closer on the top and then start slowly pulling away once I get to the bottom. You always want to make sure the top is always darker than the very bottom. So right here, get close, make sure the top gets darker. And then the bottom is a little too light. So I don't want to make it too exaggerated, you know? Just enough to where you can notice it. So right here, I'm doing the same thing, just drawing that chalk in. Then a little crumb right there. Pull everything out. Make sure my board looks crispy. That's how you really erase that white though, like really smudge it in by your with your razor. It's gonna really help a lot. Going with the C cup. Let's go. Just curve it. Look how I'm pulling the skin. I use the corner of his eye to really get that nice round circle. And then I take off all the little peach fuzz that he's got growing. He been trying to grow a beard since he was like born, and boy, oh boy, can't grow anything. But look at him. Damn, son. Oh my God. Look, dang, bro. That is, oh my God. That is so, oh, dang. All right, that's the cut, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep making more videos. Talk to you soon.